that, oh, and the Fusaka upgrade in 3 days. What I mean by that specifically is that Bitcoin makes its moves, as Tom Lee says, 10 days out of the year. You'll get like 3 or 4 days here and there where it just goes crazy and pumps up. We've had like around 6 days this year, 7 days according to my analysis, and we have 3 days left this year where potentially we can still see Bitcoin pump up. And when you mix this up with the fact that tonight, beginning at 11:59, we're finally end, the Federal Reserve in the United States finally ends quantitative tightening, which is a process again between ending quantitative tightening, chilling out for a bit, and then quantitative easing, which will happen probably later this month or sometime January, February, probably Q1 next year. When you mix this up again with so many different positive factors, this is a really red day. Fusaka upgrade is finally here on Wednesday. Ethereum will be down, by the way, for like 2 or 3 hours. I remember when back in the day when Ethereum changed from proof of work to proof of stake, same thing, down for a few hours. At least unlike 8 and other projects that had a fork and nobody knew what was going on. They've announced it for a few weeks now. They're actually gonna do it in 2026, but they sped it up because they're like, listen, we gotta be ready for 2026 before the month ends of December 2025. Again, everybody's getting ready for 2026 now, not January 1st. The importance of the Ethereum Fusaka upgrade is that it's going to increase transaction speeds and also going to reduce the price. For Ethereum itself, I'm not sure if it'll make much of a difference. However, remember that most of the layer 2s, the Polygons, the Matics, even Chainlink are on the Ethereum blockchain. So whatever happens to Ethereum, the liquidity layer, affects the layer 2s to a certain extent. Remember, layer 1's layer 2s. Layer 1's is like a highway, right? And layer 2 is like a speedway where you go apart like one lane and everybody can just go faster. So again, if you redo the highway, you fix the highway, the main highway, obviously it's going to affect the speedway, the lane that's blocked off, layer 2s. So I just want to take a moment to say, listen, everybody's hurting. I get it. Crypto's down. Bills and stuff to be paid. People still have to work. But remember that people are doing their tax loss harvesting. They're selling at lower values. Not financial advice to your own research. In anticipation, well, under price point where you bought it at spot. In anticipation of the end of the year, people are going to be doing a lot of tax loss harvesting. But you also see a lot of CEOs, a lot of people, C-suite executives that are getting these big bonuses. And a lot of them are going to actually begin to front run whatever moves are going to be coming in January. So they're going to probably towards that last 2 weeks, or maybe the last 3 weeks to be more general, you're going to see a lot of people doing that. And we're in a market right now where, like Marty Party says on Twitter, retail can't move the market. The institutions are going to be the ones to pump our bags. It is what it is. I don't make the rules, but you have to understand, again, NASDAQ's $100 million, Bitcoin like back in the day, yes, retail can do that. Now that you're going to $4 trillion, $5 trillion, $6 trillion territory, though, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Sharing is caring and it's free. So when it goes up in value like this to the trillions, it's institution. So we're still waiting on the Clarity Act. I'm not sure when we're going to get word specifically of whether they're going to start doing the markups in the Senate Agriculture Committee and the U.S. Senate Banking Committee, but they confirmed that we will see that this month. It's highly unlikely, in my opinion, because government always moves slow, that we're going to see President Trump officially sign the Clarity Act this year. But I do have a strong conviction that if there's political will, which there should be, to get this done before like the midterms start, even though midterms really start January 1st, 2026, we are going to get that bill to President Trump's desk so we can move on from this and we can focus on things like tax laws and everything else. And remember that next year, after midterms, we're going to basically be swearing in 2027, January, and even more pro-crypto legislative body, U.S. Congress, U.S. House Representatives, U.S. Senate, than we have in existence right now. So this is all macro factors that are going to push the crypto market past points that we could even ever imagine. The Clarity Act alone, I believe, is going to lead us to have the basis of getting to a $10 trillion total market for crypto, $20 trillion market for crypto, potentially by the end of President Trump's second term. So I'm looking at this as very, very positive. Everything is growing. The headwinds are strong for the rest of this year, but if you have a long enough horizon and you have conviction, remember, nobody that's like the billionaires in crypto, the millionaires in crypto, none of them got rich without selling some crypto on the way there. So if you're struggling and you're selling crypto or whatever, remember that we're all doing it. I'm doing it too. I'm selling crypto, right? I mean, obviously with my price points, like I've been investing for a year, so even if I sell at a loss in my short-term bags, for example, I'm still up, and I've still sold stuff from my long-term bags. But just keep going, keep grinding, stay strong. Crazy Monday. Hopefully the rest of the week will be a little bit more smooth. Upwards and up.